Hi everyone, this is Tuplex. Welcome back. I made a few minor changes here with the low density structures. First of all, I removed the power poles and replaced them with substations. Since I redid some of the layout here, I have space now for the substations where I didn't originally. So it's much cleaner looking now. I also did a few things here to try to compensate for some of the single-sided belt loading that we were seeing, especially from copper. So what I did down here is I just added a little loop. Previously this looked like this, right? And then we were seeing that eventually we would get to the point where we were only getting a single side of the belt loaded. That's because we're only pulling from one side of the belt. But by adding this little loop here, this way we make sure that we're loading both sides of the belt from the chest, no matter which side of these two belts are getting loaded. All right, so I did that change there for copper. I made the same change on the plastic belt. On the steel, I don't really have enough room to do it. Well, maybe I do. Yeah, I could do it on steel too, but I decided not to just because it doesn't matter on steel, because with steel, we're okay with a single side of one belt. So that's not a problem for steel. But for copper, it is a problem, and for plastic, we needed, I think we needed 0.6 of a belt. Yeah, so we definitely need both sides loaded for plastic and copper. So hopefully that'll help. And then I also added a splitter here, just because this first set of machines, well, the second and third set of machines are all getting supported by a second belt of copper that's being split in or merged in. But this first one wasn't. And to be honest, this first set of machines are always going to be running more than the other two sets, just because when the belt starts to empty, those are going to be the first ones to come on, and they'll be the last ones to shut off. So this way we're getting a little bit of extra support on this belt from this second one, and hopefully it'll keep that belt full and keep everything running at maximum output. Okay, so today I want to do blue science packs, so let's head up there. And this one should be rather easy because blue science only has 3 ingredients and they're all brought in by train, so we don't have to make any sub-assemblies. And they're all less than a single belt each. All right, so we're going to need 6 machines per column. 2 belts in, 1 belt out. Should be a piece of cake. First of all, let me empty some of my inventory. I've got a lot of copper plate there that I don't need. I don't need those gears. I guess everything else, oh yeah, and then I have a bunch of extra power poles. Okay. Let's grab some beacons. And we'll start in the center, as we always do. Okay. So this one, I think, well, we'll just make it full size, because we're going to have plenty of space with this one. Oh, I should have gotten modules. Silly me. And let me send this to the module factory to get refilled while we're setting this up. Okay, 1 machine goes there. Speed modules, productivity modules. This will be blue science pack. All right, we need to upgrade all of this. Very good. You can see I reserved the bottom row of my inventory space for bots. Maybe it's not necessary to do that, but I thought it would be a good idea because that way if I'm receiving stuff and building stuff, or maybe when I'm deconstructing stuff, I'll make sure that I always have room for my bots to return to me. Okay. Right, so how do we want to do this? I guess we do it the same way, right? So when we are pulling 2 ingredients, I know what I want to do. Let's pull one there. Let's pull the other there. And then let's do the output down the center. Okay, and I think I can use fast inserters for this whole build. Let's check. Fast inserters. Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Okay. So that's 1, and then 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. And then number 6, we cut those. And we can replace that with regular belt. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Everything looks good. Okay, very easy. There, we did it with 4 substations. And we'll throw in some lights. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, let's get my train back. And while we're waiting for the train, we can start to run the belts. And maybe we'll have time to work on the next build as well, since this is going to be going fairly quickly. Uh-oh. Whoops. All right. I missed this by 1 tile. All right. So I'm just doing that so that I don't pick up too much of the material off of the belts. That's better. Okay, let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, and we got one more here. Sorry for the short pause. I had a phone call that I had to take. Okay, this one goes straight up. Actually, let's do this side first. And work toward the center. Just because that's how we're doing it everywhere else. That's weird. Okay, and then this one's gonna go up. There. Okay, that looks nice. And yeah, I'll just keep the leftovers. All right, let's get our modules out. We'll need a lot of speed modules first. Let's just get all of them. Make sure we get it covered. Having 500 construction bots is really, really nice, I must say. And we need productivity modules as well. Put our beacons away. Okay. And looks like we're pretty much done. Let's plug it in and make sure it works. What if we do this? That looks better. Yeah, no problem. Okay, lovely. Okay, and we've already got some in the chests. That's interesting. Notice how the inserter is highlighted when you get the belt right next to it. I hadn't noticed that before. Ah. Okay, I'm gonna need more belts. Okay, there we go. Make sure everything is flowing properly. And then we check our production graph to be sure. Hold still. There we go. 2.7, 2.8. Okay, well, it's more than 2.5. That's the important thing, right? Let's let this run for a few minutes, make sure it remains stable. Yeah, I think this will be fine. Don't see any issues here. Yep, 2.7. Stay still. Jeez, that's kind of annoying. Okay, good. So we're done with blue science. That was easy. All right. Next one it says is purple science, but actually, let's see. Which science pack are we missing? The science pack we're missing is chemical science or utility science. So let's actually do that one first. That way we can get our slow science production going again while we finish up the last. Okay, new subfactory. Chemical science or utility science packs. Chemical one is the one that we just did. Utility science pack. 312.5 per column. Okay, we need to make the robot frames. And everything else will be coming in by train. Modules. Beacons. Okay. 4 machines and 3 machines. Now I wonder if we change the quantity of beacons. Okay, we can do 10 beacons and still, well, 10 won't really help us. 8 would be the next best thing. Right, but 8 would mean adding another machine. I don't know what that does. All right, I think we're just going to stay with 12. Well, no, let's do 10. It'll save us beacons. Okay, and here we can probably do 10 as well. Well, we're going to have 3 machines. Yeah, see, 8's not enough. But 10 beacons with 3 machines is not going to help much, so we might as well just keep that at 12. 10 beacons with 4 machines will help. We can put 2 of them together. That's 4 less beacons. Screw it. Let's just keep it simple. 3 and 4. First we'll go back to base and get resupplied. See, the hard part, I mean, I like how quickly this is going now. And I think a lot of it is just because the hard part was getting the input station set up and, you know, like all this jazz. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare. Oh, let's look at belts. Okay, yeah, it's still less than half a belt of everything. So that means that I don't have to change any of that. I'll just have to, I probably don't even have to upgrade it, to be honest, but I will anyway. Okay, I think we're good. All right, so we're going to go up here. And I'm hoping and praying that when we get to space science, I'm hoping that if I just upgrade all these belts and machines and maybe throw in some speed modules into the machines, that it'll all be fast enough and I won't have to do anything else with it. But I feel like maybe I'm not going to be that lucky. We'll see. All right, so let's start by upgrading all of that. Excellent. Why didn't I keep this stuff? There we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, the middle's right there. I'll give some extra space since we're going to have a lot of belts. All right, so these are going to be the flying robot frames. Okay, and these need 2 belts in and 1 belt out, right? And there are going to be 3 of those. Yeah, so we got 4 ingredients, so we need 2 belts in, 1 belt out, which is pretty easy. Right? And I think fast inserters will be fine. Yeah. And then I'm going to need to run 1 more belt to carry the low density structures and blue circuits. So we can put that right here, I suppose. All right, 2 and 3. Okay, and then I'll put a 4th one here, but this is, let's see, that one's going to end and that one is going to end. This one will continue like that. And this one, we can go like that. more of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's just check that again real quick. So I got 1, 2, 3. Then that output goes over here. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think that looks good. Okay, and it looks like we're just short on speed modules. And I have no more, so go get more modules while I hook up the belts. Okay, and these just happen to be in a very good order. Ah, I'm out of belts too. Just wait for this train to get full. Okay. Close enough. That way I can get more belts too. Okay. I'll take half of those. Put the rest of the beacons back, and I'll grab the belts. Okay. I think the best practice here is to work backwards. Oops. From the destination to the source. Okay. Looks good. Let's just wait for these belts to get fully saturated. And I forgot to remove these. This one doesn't oh, okay. Yeah, that's the robot frame belt, so it shouldn't have anything in it yet. Okay, low density structure. There you go. And blue circuits. There you go. All right, time to turn it on. Just taking a quick look to make sure everything is running. Okay, these are backed up already, so that's fine. Okay, good. And now I can copy the output section from Blue Science, since they both exit in the center. Where is Blue Science? Here it is. All right, and then we'll check our production numbers. Okay, more than 3K, so more than fast enough. So these science builds are going to be, they're going to be input limited. Right, because we're rounding up machines, they can all produce at greater than the amount required, which means when we're at full speed, they'll likely be brought back down to around 2.5K by lack of inputs. Although I think that's probably not ideal because, especially with TSM, if you've got several stations waiting for the same input, I don't know if TSM does round robin or if it'll, you might get into a situation where it's continually delivering to the same station, leaving other ones empty. That's something we're going to have to be watchful for. Okay, so when I get to 1,000 in each wagon, I'm going to send it on. And tell it to come back and start loading again, because it'll take a while before the train is completely full. But it looks good. Everything's producing. We've got approximately equal quantities in each chest. Okay, here we'll make it 1200. This way I can make sure I get the same, exactly the same amount in each of these cargo wagons. And then I'll send it on, and then when I bring it back, I'll remove the limits on the wagons again. There we go. And then power requirements are going to start to creep up as we get the labs running and factories running. Okay, great. Well, and I've gotten more feedback from all of you about what to do next, and seems that overwhelmingly people are interested in seeing this base continue to expand to 10,000 science per minute or even more. But I don't want to kill myself. This is the biggest base I've made, or at least the most productive base I've made so far. Probably the biggest too. So I think making a 4x jump for my next project is ambitious enough. Okay, that looks good. Before I conclude today, I do want to make a quick change in the rocket area. I've got the rockets set to, no, I don't want to park there. I'll just park here. I've got the rockets set to launch when we are completely out of space science packs. And I want to change it so that we launch when we have less than 1,000. And this gives us a chance to see a launch. Awesome. We've launched 264 satellites so far. Okay, well that's going to do it for today. Let's mark that off, yellow science. So we just have purple science, rocket fuel, rocket control units, and rockets. So we're nearly there. Thanks for joining me along the way, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye-bye.